Learned girlfriend cheated for years, set up truth or drink game to uncover secrets. My girlfriend, 32F, and I, 33M, have been together for 8 years. Honestly, I thought things had never been more perfect. When we got together, she said she'd only been with one other person sexually. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just don't lie to me about it. I don't care how many people you've been with, just be honest with me. Anyway, she recently let it slip, while we were playing a drinking game at her friend's place, that her body count was 43. I didn't want to start a fight in front of her friends, but I was totally taken aback and utterly embarrassed. This particular drinking game had couples guess each other's answers, so I had to guess what she was going to put. I was sure she was going to say 2. But then it comes out, and she says 43. The look on my face must have said it all. I didn't want to make a scene because we had both been drinking, but when I brought it up the next day, she tried to tell me she had never told me she'd only ever been with one person. Then we got in a fight about that. She said it was unfair of me to try to peg her as some innocent angel. On top of that, she seemed to have a lot more guy friends than girlfriends, and maybe this was my insecurities coming out, but it always just seemed like she behaved in ways that were more than friendly. I feel like sometimes she'd very much flirt with them in front of me, but then play it off, like the fact that I had mentioned anything at all was disgusting, because she'd say, "They're like my brothers." I tried to let this go for the longest time. Recently, however, there have been some incidents that made me question things more deeply. For instance, a few months ago, she started getting very secretive with her phone, something she had never done before. She would receive late-night messages and quickly turn her phone away when I was nearby. I tried to dismiss my concern, thinking I was just being paranoid and insecure. If I ever said anything, again she'd gaslight me, saying I was being a brat, and that I was the overbearing and controlling boyfriend. She'd say, "I see these guys like my brothers. I've known them since I was a child. It's gross that you'd even think that." Last week, a close friend of mine mentioned seeing her at a cafe with one of her male friends. Their interaction seemed more intimate than just friendship. He said she was grabbing onto his leg, and they were basically sitting on top of each other. This really shook me, because it confirmed some of my worst fears. When I confronted her about it, she brushed it off, saying they were just catching up and that there was nothing more to it. Again, gaslighting me? The situation has left me feeling confused and insecure. I've always trusted her and believed in our relationship. But now, I can't help but wonder if there's something more going on. I don't want to jump to conclusions or make unfounded accusations, but I also can't ignore these feelings of doubt and betrayal. Then again, she just makes me feel like I'm the crazy one. Am I being dramatic here? Am I the problem? We've had multiple discussions about her friendships with men, and each time she reassures me that they're just friends. Yet the secrecy, and the way she interacts with some of them, makes it hard for me to believe that entirely. It's become increasingly difficult to reconcile the person I thought she was with these recent behaviors. And now, this cafe incident? I feel like my friend wouldn't lie to me about something like that either. I trust him and his judgment. I'm at a crossroads, unsure of how to proceed. Do I keep trusting her and risk being hurt? Or do I take a stand and demand more transparency and boundaries? The thought of losing her is painful. Yes, I know, hard to believe at this point, but so is the thought of continuing a relationship where I can't shake the feeling of betrayal. I need to find a way to address these issues without pushing her away or damaging our relationship. Is she cheating on me? Am I the crazy one? Wow. That's quite the unexpected revelation during a drinking game. It must have been a real curveball for you, especially since you were so confident about the number. It sounds like you've handled the situation with grace, considering the circumstances. It's understandable to feel blindsided and embarrassed, especially when your partner's disclosure catches you off guard in front of friends. And the ensuing argument about your own past? It's just adding more layers to the confusion. It seems like there's a lot going on here, from the discrepancy in your sexual histories, to the concerns about her behavior with male friends, and now the secrecy around her phone. Trust is the cornerstone of any relationship, and it's natural to feel shaken when that trust is called into question. It's a tough situation, and there's no easy answer. From what you've described, there are certainly red flags that warrant further discussion and honest evaluation. Update 1. Hi, I'm back. A couple of months ago, I came here asking whether or not my girlfriend was cheating on me, and I'm just here to update you all. After posting that story, a lot of you said she was cheating, and that I had to grow a backbone, confront her, and dump her. Well, I did. But let me just get there first. Some of you were also asking why I was sticking around, what I was holding on to. So here's a little backstory. Yeah, I met my girlfriend, Asha, at a mutual friend's party. It was one of those moments where everything just clicked. Instantly. We bonded over our shared love for music and late-night philosophical discussions. We had both majored in philosophy, though at different schools. She was witty, charming, and had this infectious laugh that could light up a room. I was drawn to her kindness and the way she made everyone around her feel special. She was a hell of a lot of fun and chill. We traveled together, supported each other through career changes, and even adopted a dog. Life honestly felt perfect. She was incredibly fun and adventurous. Always up for spontaneous road trips or hiking excursions. She was very much the outdoorsy type. We backpacked through Europe, camped under the stars in national parks, and even went scuba diving in the Caribbean. She had this amazing ability to turn any mundane day into an exciting adventure. Her zest for life was contagious. Being with her made me feel like we could conquer anything together. Now, the update. So, I went through her iPad. It was connected to her phone, so all her iMessages and everything in her iCloud popped up on it. She usually has her phone glued to her, so I had a rare opportunity. And I knew that would never happen again. So I took my chances with the iPad. Surprisingly, I managed to get in. I'm not sure if she forgot they were linked, or if she's just an idiot, but hey, you win some, you lose some. I was scrolling through her photos first, only to find videos and pictures of her nude, and playing with herself. Early in our relationship, she used to send me pictures like that, so it wasn't completely out of the ordinary for her. However, I hadn't received a single one of these recent pictures. They were all recently dated, yet very similar to the ones she used to send me. I quickly had the sense to airdrop them to my phone, to make sure I had the evidence. I had evidence. If she was actually cheating, at this point I knew she was. I just didn't want to fully admit it. Believe it or not, I did love her. I mean, I do, in some effed up way. Or maybe I just loved the person I thought she was. The person that never existed. Despite everything, I still cared deeply for her. We've shared so much together. She was there when my father passed away, and I've always imagined a future with her. When I looked into the coming years, I always saw her there. There was just no one else by my side. That's what made all this so difficult. I loved the person she was, the adventures we had, and the life we built together. That's why it hurt so much to find out about her secrets. And now, that's just done. It's over. Everything I had imagined, gone. When I looked up the info on the pictures, I noticed a few of them were taken on Snapchat. This made me even more suspicious, because we don't message each other on Snapchat. Honestly, I didn't even know she had Snapchat. While I had the time, I searched through her messages, but couldn't find anything that stood out. But then I checked her Snapchat. She had a bunch of guys on there she had been recently messaging, and some she had a big streak going with. All these names looked familiar. I knew she was in daily communication with these guys. I opened up the conversations, and there were saved videos back and forth. Saved messages going into detail about what they did, what they planned to do, how good things went, blah 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 blah. I took screenshots of all the questionable messages and of the people she's been snapping. I didn't even care if it notified them. them. After diving through everything, I put the iPad back and sat down to decide what I should do. I wanted to call her up right then and there and leave. I wanted to pack up her crap and throw it out onto the front lawn. But after thinking it through, I decided not to bring it up, while there was still a chance I might do something I'd regret. I have to really practice some self-control. I wanted revenge. And I have to make it good. I'll be back with an update as soon as I figure out what to do. Don't you worry. First off, let me say, you deserve a gold medal for your iPad sleuthing skills. Who knew a simple brain glitch could lead to such a jaw-dropping discovery? I've got to hand it to you, though. Despite the shock of finding those revealing photos, you managed to keep your cool for the most part. I admire your thirst for revenge, OP. I can't wait to see what twists and turns await in the next installment of Life with Asha. Update 2. Hi everyone, I'm back with another update. After my last post, I took some time to really think about how to handle the situation. I was torn between confronting her calmly or doing something more drastic. Ultimately, I decided that the best way to address this was to expose her lies in front of the very people she had been deceiving, including the guys she had been cheating with, and all of her friends. In the midst of her trying to act like everything was all good between us, I convinced her that we should host a game night at our place. We invited a bunch of our friends, including some of the new guys. She was messaging on Snapchat, guys she had claimed were nothing but brothers. It seemed like the perfect opportunity to reveal everything. I figured it would be a dramatic but fitting end to this mess. I spent the week leading up to the game's night preparing. I printed out screenshots of her messages and saved videos, organizing them into a folder on my laptop. I also backed up everything on a USB drive, just in case. I wanted to make sure I had all the evidence ready for when the time came. On the day of the game's night, I acted as normal as possible. I didn't want to raise any suspicions. I helped Asha set up snacks and drinks, and we arranged the living room for our guests. As everyone started arriving, I could feel my heart racing, but I knew I had to keep it together. Honestly, I was choked up. The night started off pretty well. We were playing some board games, and everyone was laughing, having a good time. I saw her flirting with the guy she had been messaging, and I smiled, knowing what was coming next. I waited until everyone was settled and fully engaged before I made my move. I stood up and said, "Hey guys, can I have your attention for a minute? I have something important to share." Everyone looked at me a bit confused, but they quieted down. Asha looked puzzled, but didn't seem too concerned, yet. I took a deep breath and continued. "For our next game, it's time to play Truth or Drink." I pulled out my laptop and connected it to the TV. I opened the folder with the evidence, and started showing the screenshots and videos. The room went dead silent as everyone processed what they were seeing. Asha's face turned pale. She tried to grab the laptop, but I moved it away. "These are messages and videos Asha has been sending to other guys, some of whom are in this very room," I said, looking directly at a few of her closest male friends. "I think you all deserve to know the truth." The room erupted into chaos. Some of the guys were in shock. Others were furious. One of her friends, who had been a close confidant, looked completely betrayed. Asha tried to defend herself, shouting that I was invading her privacy, that this was a gross overreaction. But the evidence was undeniable. It had smacked her right in the face. Asha broke down in tears. But I didn't feel any sympathy at that moment. I simply felt relieved that the truth was finally out. After the initial shock wore off, people started leaving, clearly uncomfortable with the situation. Some of them expressed their support for me, while others just left in silence. Asha and I were left alone in the apartment. She tried to talk to me, to explain herself. But I couldn't listen anymore. I was totally done. I told her to pack her things and leave. In the days that followed, she confessed to cheating on me throughout our whole relationship. She'd been talking to some of these guys even before we got together. She admitted to being a serial cheater. I blocked her on all social media. I changed the locks on the house. It's been a difficult time, but I'm starting to feel like I can move on now. The support from our mutual friends has been helpful, and I'm focusing on rebuilding my life without her, looking ahead with some optimism. Apparently, A lot of our mutual friends have turned their backs on her. The guys who had been cozying up to her dropped her like a sack of potatoes. Apparently, they all thought they were the only ones, aside from me, of course. Each of them believed they were the special one, the reason she was faltering in her relationship. The apple of her eye. Turns out they were just repeats in her playlist. Not only that, but I heard from a friend that her professional life also took a major hit. Rumors of her infidelity and unethical behavior spread like wildfire throughout her office. I guess some wives and partners were calling in, causing a lot of drama with the men at work, thanks to their involvement with Asha. Apparently, she was pretty busy, canoodling with the men in the office, too. Her credibility and integrity came into question, jeopardizing her career prospects and chances for advancement. I heard she's currently on a leave of absence. To anyone going through something similar, trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. It's hard, but you deserve honesty and respect in a relationship. Always. Thanks to everyone here who gave me advice and support. It really helped me get through this. Hope you don't hear from me ever again. Over and out. Commentary. You played your cards right, OP, and boy, did Asha get dealt a bad hand. I guess truth or drink took on a whole new level of intensity, huh? I can imagine Asha's face turning whiter than a ghost when you started pulling out those receipts. But hey, at least she confessed to being a serial cheater. Looks like she forgot to subscribe to the loyalty and honesty package. It's a shame her little game of cat and mouse ended with her losing not just her relationship, but also her credibility and professional standing. And those guys she was cozying up to? Talk about a rude awakening. They probably thought they were starring in their own romantic comedy with Asha, only to find out they were just extras in her twisted game. Guess they learned the hard way. There's no such thing as the only one in Asha's playbook. As for her career, let's just say her reputation took a nosedive faster than a lead balloon. Leave of absence. More like leave of avoidance. Looks like she'll have plenty of time to contemplate her life choices while she's on the bench. But hey, kudos to you, OP, for taking charge and showing Asha that cheaters never prosper. Here's to hoping you never have to deal with her drama again. Over and out, indeed. What do you make of this? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you soon.